All right, this is episode 10 of the Young Old Heads podcast. My name is Ben Thompson.
It's your boy Jay Fair.
And it's your boy Uncle Jerry.
All right, as y'all know, the NBA Finals wrapped up on Monday. So, unfortunately, we're going to start off and review the NBA Finals. As y'all know, the Warriors won the series 4-1. Pretty much damn near sweep Cleveland. But start off, James, how'd you feel about the series?
Y'all really gonna start with me?
Yeah, we starting with you, James.
Please excuse my rant.
All right.
It shows that the Golden State Warriors was really scared of LeBron James. And this is why I say this. Because you have your vocal leader, Draymond Green, sitting here saying, oh, yeah, we lost last year, but if the consolation prize is getting Kevin Durant, then I'll take it. That's not competitive. If I lose to you, 3-1 lead to you in the NBA Finals, I'm coming back with my same squad, getting my role players better. I'm going to beat you. But it showed they were scared of LeBron in the competition of playing the king, LeBron James, that you brag about getting Kevin Durant. And just because Steph Curry is a good guy, y'all give the back-to-back MVP so many passes for adding a top 5 player to a 73-9 basketball team. Now imagine if Michael Jordan had went to the finals and lost, and then he added like a Karl Malone to the roster, John Stockton. How would we view Michael Jordan? We would bash him
as the greatest basketball player of all time. That's how we would view it. But okay.
But 72-10 and adding a top 5 player, that's not competitive.
They go 75-7.
And okay, and people who try to compare this to LeBron, it's not even close. Because what LeBron did to his competition was he went out and started something new. Started his own big three, just like the Boston Celtics, to beat them. Not join them, to beat them. But overall, the Cavs played pretty good. It's just when you play the team like the Warriors, you really can't compete against it. Because you have the back-to-back MVP, you have Klay Thompson, and then you add Kevin Durant, who's giving you 30 every night. What more can you do? And what more can you ask of LeBron James? Simple as that. And that's all I got to say.
What you got to say about the series, Jerry?
I don't think I'm a LeBron hater. First things first, I actually respect the man LeBron. I don't respect how he did the decision and the theatrical things that happened with it, but I respect the man. His fans, on the other hand, that's where we begin to differ. But this is about the 2017 NBA Finals. I mean, it was what we all expected. I don't really like Mike and what they got to say, but Mike Greenberg said something that I really picked up on the other day when I was on the road. I was listening to ESPN radio. He said, as a sports fan, I can't be mad that the best team won. And that's really just my aspect that I'm taking. The best team was the Golden State Warriors. They won. I really can't be mad at that. Cleveland just they didn't have the firepower. I was really surprised with what Tristan Thompson did in games 4 and 5. He fought as much as he could, and they need more of that, but they just need somebody else to stretch the floor.
Okay, I feel that. I think I don't know. There wasn't anything else LeBron could do. 5 games, average a triple-double. That was his best 5-game output of his career. Most points, rebounds, assists he ever total in a 5-game period. And he did in the finals. So, I mean, it wasn't anything else he could do. Last year, he went against the best team in NBA history, beat them. This year, the best team in NBA history, added the second best player in the NBA, the second best small forward of all time. And, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? The Cavaliers lost. They didn't really add anybody, and you saw what happened with the Warriors when they added him. So, I mean, I don't know what they can do, but as a LeBron fan, I got no shame in what happened. He played better than anyone could play in the moment. So, here's what it is. Congrats to the Warriors. Not to KD, though. Moving on. Who's the most impressive player y'all think in the series for either team? Jerry.
LeBron James. The man averaged a triple-double. Like I said, I can't take that away from him. I respect him as a man. I think we need to talk about his comments about him playing on the super team and him not believing that, but we can discuss that later. But I mean, impressive wise, it has to be LeBron James, then the man who won the NBA Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
About you, James?
Well, Cleveland is easiest LeBron James. I mean, what more can he do? First player ever to average a triple-double in the NBA Finals. So congrats to LeBron. Now, when we go talk about the Golden State Cowards, you know, I don't really care. Because at the end of the day, I mean, who do you want me to say? Kevin Durant, a top 5 player who joined a 73-9 team from last year, best record ever. I mean, what did you expect? That's what you expect from Kevin Durant.
Can I propose this, Ben? Excuse me, James. Can I propose this?
Mm-hmm.
What if Kevin Durant sat down and said, and I'm just proposing this, what if Kevin Durant sat down and said, there is no way I beat the Warriors here in OKC? What if he says this? What if he said that? What if he sat down and said that there was no way that I could attract somebody there to help me beat them out west at OKC, and there's no way in hell he could go to anywhere in the East and still beat LeBron James. So what if KD sat down? What if he sat down and said, the ultimate goal in any sport is for you to say you're a champion. That's the ultimate goal.
Right.
For you to say you're the champion of whatever it is. It can be racquetball. You want to say you're the best. You want to say you're the best racquetball player ever, or the best one in the league. That to win the championship at that time. So he said the only way for me to win a championship is to go to Golden State. Why can't we be mad? I can't be mad. Mm-hmm. I can understand, and I totally respect why you are mad at him. And upset with him. I get that. I'm not one of those people that are going to argue with you on Twitter and all over social media about why, because your beef is a completely legitimate beef. I respect that beef. But why can't we make the argument that that's the only way he wins? And I do make that argument. I don't think he wins with anybody in the East. If he goes to the Wizards or whatever, he still doesn't win. He doesn't get past LBJ in the East, and I don't know who he attracts if he stayed there this year. The goal is to win this year. I don't see who he attracted last year to beat Golden State. So he went where he won.
And Jerry, and this is why I disagree with you, because it was one free agent that could have helped Oklahoma City out against the Warriors, and his name's Al Horford. He said it. The reason why he waited to go to Boston is because if Kevin Durant went back to OKC, he's going to be in the OKC jersey. He's a big man that can't stretch the floor. He's a better upgrade than Cantor or Steven Adams clogging up the middle, which was Oklahoma City Thunder problem, clogging up the middle with big man.
But if you add Horford, what do you do with Cantor and Steven Adams? Like, how you rotate that?
We're talking about OKC, a great organization that knows how to trade players, get great value, and also develop.
So it's going to be pretty hard to trade.
Okay.
You couldn't trade that.
But think about this. You wouldn't think Cleveland would be a great destination by just looking at the city of Cleveland. It's just because they have LeBron James. And with OKC, you have Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Really want to win? You might go get some quality veterans.
Okay, so James, just so I get what you're saying at OKC with Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and Al Horford, they make it to the NBA Finals.
You were up 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors with that team that they had the year before. And the team they would have assembled this year would have been way better pieces to fit to beat the Golden State Warriors. You were up 3-1. Russell Westbrook showed out. Him and Kevin Durant choked down the stretch. Both of them.
I'll be honest, I do think they could have beat the Warriors if they would have all stayed together. I mean, you up 3-1. That shows a little crack in the arm of the Warriors. I mean, I do think if he could have stayed, there was a possibility that he could beat the Warriors. But he went the route knowing he was going to make a ring, which is my problem. Because, I mean, if you take a choice knowing there's no risk involved, I mean, you could say he had the risk of people bashing him and us giving him the shit we're giving him right now. But that's not a risk down the road. He knew when he signed that contract he was getting a ring. I mean, that's kind of a sellout thing for me. That's a sellout thing for me.
Agreed.
Okay.
And there's one more destination that people don't look at just because it's in the East. It's Boston. In the long term, Boston has to pick, set up, and Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge did a great job. You look at that roster with that coach, Brad Stevens, add Kevin Durant. They're competing with the Cavs. I'm not saying they're beating them, but they're competing. Give a legit threat in the East to LeBron James.
Right.
You have Jerry, top 5 pick last year.
I know.
They have the top pick this year.
James.
And then the year following, they still have the New York Nets pick.
Right, James.
That team in the long run can be good.
I agree with that. But you said a key word that why I said my argument for him, and I'm semi-playing devil's advocate here, because like I said, I agree with your beef is a legitimate beef. But you said the long term. What about, he wanted to win this year. He signed a contract to say, I'm going to go out here, beat LeBron James, who 90% of America, percent of the world says is the greatest basketball player that we've ever seen, and the greatest person to ever step on a basketball court.
You know, 90%, kill that.
Logical people. To say that he's the greatest player to ever step on a basketball court, but he wanted to win now. I agree with you. Boston is set up long run. If Boston's probably one key piece away now, but they're built for long term. He wanted to win this year, 2017.
Okay. And this is why I always say to that response. If Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, or Patrick Ewing join the Bulls just to win a ring now, that's a coward. And that's not being competitive. You compete. It's other options in the NBA other than the Cavaliers or the Warriors to win the championship.
I mean, we won't bring up Barkley. He did do that at the end of his career. What he joined the Rockets and then back in there.
And look at him. But if a top 5 player in this NBA is scared to compete after losing the 3-1 lead, then I don't know.
Is this the NBA's problem? It does. How much has, and that's just I just want y'all two opinions. Has the NBA created this idea?
I mean, it's not an NBA problem. I mean, the thing about the Warriors, I give them all hats off to the GM. They drafted Draymond, they drafted Clay, they drafted Steph. All kind of like late-ish picks, not super late, but I mean, it was Steph, I think, was 7, Clay was 11, and Draymond was in the 20s.
Steph was top 10. Yeah, Steph was the only one that was top 10.
Yeah, so I mean, you got 7, 11, and then wherever Draymond got picked. I mean, there's a mix of luck and there's a mix of you did your homework. I give them props on getting those guys. I got no problem with the Warriors going out to get KD. My problem is KD going out to sign with the Warriors. That's my issue. I don't got a problem with the team getting better, especially when they drafted them cats. I got a problem with KD selling his soul. I mean,
okay. So do we still have a problem with KD when he said, I'll give up 4, 5, 6, 7, $8 million so we can keep this team. He said that. He said that he's willing to give up that much in his salary so that we can keep this team.
I don't care about that. LeBron been doing that forever. He did that when he went to the Heat. Still doing that on the Cavs.
I mean, Jerry's not gonna like this response, but it shows what players are willing to sacrifice just to beat LeBron James. You have assembled this team just to beat LeBron James.
And I can see that beef, James, and that's my thing is you have to beat him. You have to. If you want to win, you have to. I would make the argument that some of those teams that Michael played, if they would have gotten 2 or 3 people together, they wouldn't have did it because it was a different NBA. It was a total different mindset then. They wouldn't have did it, but that was the only way they would have beat Michael and what they had.
But for me, I'm looking at the perspective of the young kids. The young kids are looking up to Kevin Durant. We can't give them a message saying, if you can't beat the best team, join them. That's not the nature of competing.
I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I didn't like what LeBron did in Miami, but I got it. I mean, joining something new with 2 other superstars, I didn't like it at first.
Right.
But as I've seen it, I'm like, okay, it's not as bad. But 73-9 and a top 5 player after being up 3-1, I could see you going 7-3-9 getting swept or something. You know, okay, we need Kevin Durant. But you were up 3-1.
Yeah.
And
like I said, you got a legitimate beef. I'm not. Like I said, we not. I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to say like your argument is that it's a legitimate beef. I get the competitive aspect because you gotta want that, but I just threw out there that maybe he thought, well, that's the only way I win, and I can see that as a legitimate argument. That doesn't mean I agree with that argument, but I see if you sat down with KD and he said, look, that's the only way I see myself winning, I can see that.
All right, moving on. Last tip about the NBA Finals, real quick. What do you guys think Cleveland goes from here, and where does Golden State go from here? I'll start with James, real quick.
All right, I think Golden State keeps their same team, same pieces, and for Cleveland, I hope they don't do it, but I feel like they're gonna look at an option like Carmelo Anthony or Paul George, and I know LeBron is willing to take a pay cut. I know he will just to beat the Golden State Warriors. It's not good for the NBA, but it's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna like it.
About you, Jerry?
This will be quick because I completely agree with James there. I think that they end up with one of those two guys. I don't know which one is the best fit right now as to what they do, but I think either Carmelo Anthony or Paul George is going to be a Cleveland Cavalier before the start of the next season. And I'm like James, I don't think it's good for the NBA, but I think that's the only way they see, especially if the Warriors can keep all those extra pieces that they need in like an AI and some of those other guys.
I'm with y'all too. I think Golden State stays the same, and I mean Cleveland has got to add someone. I think because it's not the big three that's the problem. It's the supporting cast. But I do think they go for a big fish like a Paul George or maybe CP3. But I think the most important thing is they got to get that bench rolling because Shumpert and JR, that's just not going to cut it anymore. Maybe a couple years ago. But for now, I mean, Shumpert, I'm going to just be honest. I hope Shumpert looks at this because I want him to look at me now when I say this. You're garbage. Shumpert's garbage.
Iman Shumpert has the IQ of a goldfish.
Yeah, he's garbage. JR is maybe the dumbest person I've seen on the basketball court. So those two guys aren't cutting it. They need some other guys on the bench that are smart enough to really take good shots and really produce when they just have Kyrie on the court and Bron not there to put them in the right spot. But moving on, we had news today. Big news. I've been calling it for a while, but it's official. It's Mayweather versus McGregor in a boxing match Saturday, August 26th in Las Vegas. They're fighting at 154 pounds, and let's go ahead and kick it off. Jerry, what's up? How you feel about this whole this super fight?
I, for one, am glad it happened. I was one of those people that said it would never happen. I thought that the two guys were too cocky enough to be able to come up to a monetary agreement, but I'm glad it happened. I don't know if it's going to be that exciting of a fight other than the fact that Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are fighting. Other than that, I don't know how much extra it's going to bring. It's going to be two guys that hate each other. We're going to see some interesting news conferences and press conferences, but other than that, especially stepping in the boxing ring, I really don't know how much Conor is going to be able to do, especially with Floyd and his head movement and his agility.
What about you, James?
I feel like there's a slap in the face of some boxers today. I know there's not a lot of boxing fans right now. Understandable. MMA is taking over. I got it. I get it. But Conor McGregor couldn't beat some of these professional boxers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Payday, step in to fight Floyd. It's Floyd playing the game with him. Because Floyd's just getting another check. And he's not going to cash for 7 to 8 more years. Because he's still spending Oscar De La Hoya money. and that's the funny part about it.
He ain't even got the Pacquiao money yet, bro. He ain't got the Pacquiao money yet.
Close. He ain't even close. He ain't even touched that. But my whole thing is about this whole thing will be the press conferences, going back and forth. But if when the actual fight happens, I'm not buying it. I'm not wasting my money.
You're not gonna split the pot with your boys, bro.
What you say, Ben?
You're not gonna split the pot with your boys for pay-per-view.
I'm gonna come late. I'm in charge of food. I'm gonna bring some wings. That's what I'm gonna pay for. But look, Man, this fight is gonna be what everybody says a boring fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a very boring fight. Yep.
Floyd is gonna fight his game, make McGregor look stupid throwing these punches. He can't hit him, and he's gonna be 50-0, more trademark, more money for Floyd Mayweather because 50-0 sounds better than 49-0. You know what I'm saying? 50-0, you might get an old 50 Cent album. You know, they get their relationship back together. You know what I'm saying? It's so much marketing for Floyd right now. He's gonna make money. So we shall see.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm a admitted McGregor stan. I'm going for Conor. I mean, I understand Floyd's 49-0. I don't look down on that, but I think Conor's the bigger guy, and I think those first 4 or 5 rounds are going to be crucial. I mean, because MMA rounds are 5 minutes. So, I mean, in boxing are 3 minutes. So, I mean, Conor's going to feel pretty good for those first 5 rounds. It's going to be about 15 minutes, which is about a 3-round match for UFC if you're not doing championship rounds. And Conor used to championship main event rounds, which are 5-minute rounds. So, I mean, he'll have the conditioning for that. But I think the first 5 rounds, Conor's going to be coming out looking for big shots. And the thing about this, where I think Conor can really conserve his energy is he's used to having to, prepare his hips for takedowns and doing leg kicks, checking leg kicks. So he's going to have a lot of energy that he doesn't have to expel that he usually does. So he's going to put a lot of time on his arms and his striking, which is pretty precise. But I'm going for Conor. I'm going for the knockout. I think that's the only way he wins. He's not going to outclass him for 12, 15 rounds, whatever it is for boxing. So I think those first 5 rounds, I think Conor looks to clip him right on the chin, which if he does clip him, I don't care about Floyd or whatever, he's going to fall. There's been a lot of guys that fall from that left hook from McGregor. So I think that's the way Conor is going to end up winning on August 26th. But yeah, did we get your comments yet, Jared?
Yeah. I don't think.
All right, well, let's talk about the money in the fight. So McGregor was the first UFC fighter to be listed in the top 25 for Forbes' most paid highest athletes. He apparently made around $34 million last year. And ESPN projected the revenue for this fight to be about $606.1 million, which is about $17 million less than the Floyd Pacquiao fight, which is pretty remarkable given that Conor's only been around for about 4 years. 4 years ago, Conor was literally cashed a welfare check and then started fighting the UFC. So, I mean, this guy went from nothing to something. He went from welfare to fighting for about $75 million, which is the estimate of what he'll make for this fight, 75 to 100 million. How do you guys think about the money on this fight? Floyd might make 100 million. Conor's going to make somewhere in the 75 million range. You guys think that's fair for Conor to make that money and Floyd to make that type of money for this fight? James?
Floyd, yes. Conor, no. But I'll give him credit. He is a great businessman. It's a very smart move. Even if you get your ass whooped, it's a smart move. You're getting paid. And I think once he gets paid, I feel like he's done with fighting. He might step away to WWE, movies. You never know. Because he's probably going to be thinking smarter. He has a kid now. New things to accomplish. Because he did everything he wanted to do. And he called some things out that he said he was going to do. He did it. So he has nothing else to prove. I feel like I was one of the people that said it's pressure on him to win, but it's not. It's pressure on there's no pressure on any of these guys. Because Floyd's still gonna be paid at the end of the day. He's gonna I feel like he's gonna be 50-0. McGregor, he's just like, I'm not a boxer. I stepped with the Floyd. I did what I can do. And that's gonna be about it. But it's not fair he's getting that money.
What about you, Jared?
Well, I've been a guy that has kind of railed against the money that Floyd and some of these higher paid boxers, mainly just Floyd, just the way he's been able to do it, not being just mad at, not against Floyd himself. He's a great businessman. He does what he does. Great. Good for him. I just think it turns some of the boxing fans, some new fans that might be like, oh, I might check this out. They're like, oh, this is the greatest. This is your supposed pound for pound fighter. Yeah, he's going to make like $100,000 a minute, even if he gets knocked out in the first minute. So I think it's rough just trying on from a fan's perspective, which is I think why ESPN is projecting it not to make as much money as the Pacquiao fight. That and I don't know if many people are going to buy the pay-per-view because they don't as many because I don't know if that many people that think Conor is going to be able to outbox Floyd, and we don't think a lot of boxing people and boxing circles don't think that Floyd is going to give too many chances for Conor to just straight up land punches. He's going to land punches, obviously, but he's going to be cut back. So
I think money wise, I think both fighters deserve what they do because in the UFC, it's been a lot of boxing versus UFC talks in the past. It's only really been one that happened. It was James Toney versus I think either Randy Couture or Chuck Liddell. Can't remember the UFC fighter, but they fought in the UFC, so it was James Toney doing UFC stuff. And I mean, if you're a UFC fighter, of course you're comfortable with that because you're going to take him down to the ground and pound him, get your wrestling points, whatever you need, which is a lot easier for a UFC fighter to me to fight a boxing fighter on their turf. I think UFC fighter, depending on the fighter, it's a bit more comfortable to take a boxing match if you're a striker in the UFC versus a boxer taking a fight in the UFC because, I mean, they're not used to getting taken down. And if you're a striker in the UFC and used to stand-up game, you're at least comfortable standing up. So a boxer never has to worry about getting taken down. So when you go to a UFC fight, it's a lot more difficult for them. But for Conor, he's a dynamic striker. He's in a short time become the most dynamic person to ever be in the UFC ring, regardless of wins or losses. No one has had their name talked about as much as Conor McGregor. Whether that's fair or not, he's talked about more than John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Jose Aldo, who he knocked out in 14 seconds, and a plethora of other great fighters. But I think Conor deserved this because he got the fight done, and I mean, made $34 million last year, which is unheard of for a UFC fighter. So he's already a big money guy, big ticket guy, and I think he's really the only fighter fans want to see Mayweather come out to fight. I mean, you can name a boxer who's good, like a GGG or whatever, or Canelo rematch, but I mean, in the end of the day, we know how that's going to go. It's going to be Floyd doing his thing for 14 or 15 rounds, whatever, ducking, dodging, winning all points. You like an unknown like a McGregor. I mean, you don't really know. You've never seen a UFC guy step into a boxing ring like this. So I think that'll draw a lot of fans like, what if? And that's what I'm living on. As a McGregor fan, what if? What if he catches him with the left and it's over? I mean, but it's also a thing that's going to be different because a UFC fighter's not used to knocking someone out and then standing back for the 10 seconds that they have to stand up. They used to knocking a guy down and just wailing on him till the ref stops it. I think that's going to be a big difference for a guy like McGregor. He's going to have to stop himself if he knocks Floyd down. And he also has to know if he knocks Floyd down, the fight's not over. I mean, he's still got time to get up and recover. So that's also a thing. But I do think he deserves his money. I mean, if I'm him, I'll take this fight. I step away. He's got a lot of movie options. I know the director, Guy Ritchie, who kickstarted Jason Statham's career. They already talked about how Conor had a lot of similarities with Jason. So I think Conor takes this fight, takes 75 million, runs off, and starts a brilliant Hollywood career, which is what I would do. There's no need in taking more punishment when you already been paid more money than you ever will make inside of your respective sport. So yeah,
John Cena 2.0.
Sure. But moving on, I'm going to quickly review the UFC Auckland fight. I'll wait off on 213 because there's a few weeks to go from that. But UFC Auckland, we had Derek Lewis versus Mark Hunt. And Derek Lewis was ranked number 6 in the world. Mark Hunt was ranked number 7. Mark Hunt, TKO Derek Lewis. He had a back problem and ended up retiring at the end of the fight. But I think Derek Lewis will be back. It was a pretty good fight. I mean, you don't usually see heavyweights going to the 4th round. It was great striking. And overall, it was a lot of good knockouts. Had a good knee earlier in that fight card that sent a guy to the canvas. But it was a pretty good card that you usually don't see for free for UFC. But like I said, later on, we will preview UFC 213, which will be a great fight. I know the Holm versus Correa fight is coming in between that, but honestly, no one wants to watch that fight card, so we're not going to talk about it too much. All right. Moving on, we're going to talk about Ward versus Kovalev, and James will take the floor for that.
Yes. Ward versus Kovalev. Man, this is one of the boxing matches I've been waiting for. I know Jerry, you know what I'm saying? I got Ward. I know he ain't going with Ward on this one. But I felt like the first one, he did steal that victory. I give Jerry that. But this gonna be clear cut. It's ready. Kovalev has been real disrespectful in the media. I feel like he woke the giant up, and he's about to feel it on Saturday. And I feel sorry for him. But as a good man, I'm gonna pray for him. Because Andre Ward about to put that work on him, and I guarantee you that.
My only hope is that we see as an exciting fight the second time as we did the first time. It was a truly, it really gave me hope and faith back in boxing. I'm an old school boxing fan. We can go all the way back to De La Hoya, Trinidad. You know, watching those fights when I was younger, to Roy Jones and then Antonio Tarver and all of those. And all of those fights in the Klitschko's when they were younger. So I'm an old school boxing fan. I was really proud to see the show that both of those two guys put on the first time. So I'm just hoping that we can get another great boxing match. I think Kovalev, I'm taking that analogy that James used. I think the first fight kind of awoke Kovalev, and he honestly thought he had won, and some people think he has a beef. I can see some of those rounds. He only ended up losing by a round, so I can see where maybe you could see the Andre Ward. You could convince me that he did legitimately won the fight. I did rewatch it again, so you can convince me now that he legitimately won that fight. But I just hope we see a good fight. I could see Kovalev ending it early, but I definitely see him at least winning a decision.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know much about these fighters, but I'm gonna go for Ward.
My man,
Ward winning that, so it is what it is on that front.
Okay.
But moving on from boxing, we got my favorite topic in the world: pettiness in sports. So we're gonna kick it off. I mean, it's been a lot of pettiness going on past few years across the board. I mean, we got pettiness in the NBA, NFL, boxing / MMA, and then pettiness and even MLB in some NHL games. But we'll kick it off to start the pettiness talk. We'll talk about Russ versus KD, which was a big conversation this entire year. We got Russ bringing up the whole cupcake incidents with KD. Got the Russ commercials with the shoes saying, with the Little Uzi Vert songs saying, "Now I do what I want." How do y'all think about the pettiness between Russ and KD? Is it overboard, or is it is it funny? You like pettiness between those two? Jerry?
I thought it was funny. It was a little childish at first to me. I mean, the man made a decision that he thought was best for him. You can disagree, but as a man, I got to be like, okay, you did what's best for you, bro. I mean, it was a legitimate beef. Again, I thought it was funny. I mean, I get a kick out of it, honestly. When they said they had started back talking, I was a little bit upset, to be honest myself. I like to see the beef keep going, especially on the basketball court. That's old school. That's somebody that everybody can relate to. Even if you weren't the best basketball player, you can remember your dad, your uncles, whatever, getting out on the hard court, back behind your house, and they talking trash and going at it for a little while.
What about you, Phil? How you feel about Russ and KD?
I mean, I like what Russ did. It's well deserved. I mean, I feel like I couldn't imagine if I was on a team. I was a superstar on the team, and my sidekick, whatever you want to call it, leaves or whatever. You know, to go to the team we were just competing against. Mm-hmm. We were up. We were one game away, and you leave. So you damn right. You damn right. I'm gonna be petty this whole ass season, next season, the following season. It's never gonna stop. You're gonna remember it. I'm gonna make every commercial, every interview. I'm gonna be petty. And I feel like Russ deserves it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel too. I mean, if we up 3-1 on the team that beat us, and then you join that team, best believe. I mean, it's 10 out of 10 petty the whole year. I mean, and that's what Russ was. 10 out of 10 petty. and I respected it. That's why he's gonna be the NBA MVP in a few weeks, even though it's taking too long for them to vote on that. But he'll be the MVP.
Yeah, what's up with this award show? We gotta wait so long, and Drake gotta host and all that. Just release the awards, man.
It's so stupid.
Money.
But moving on, we got I got like real quick the pettiness in the NBA Finals, Cavs versus Warriors. I mean, it flared up a lot last year, and it hit a precedent when LeBron wore the Warriors shirt. You know what I'm saying? Ultimate Warriors shirt. How y'all feel about the whole pettiness between the two teams the past year? James.
Yeah, start James.
I mean, I like it. I mean, I don't want teams to like each other. I mean, you can like each other off the court, cool. Yeah. But on the court, I don't like you. I'm gonna compete my hardest. It's gonna be physical. That's what I want. And the subliminal stuff that they be doing, I appreciate it because it gives the media actually something to talk about instead of making up stories and all this crazy stuff. So, I mean, I like it. I hope it continues.
About you, Jerry?
Yeah, I completely agree, James, especially from that competitor's point of view. I mean, I'm the guy that I'll tell you if me and my mama, if she line up against me, then I mean, I love her, but I'm trying to beat her. I'm trying to win. That's just, that's how it is. I mean, we'll hug and I tell her I love her after the game, but during the game, my team got to win. If we thumb wrestling or playing tic-tac-toe or Connect Four or whatever.
I feel it. I think it was pretty good. I mean, it just adds a little extra flair to it. But I mean, on to like pretty much the pettiest thing I've seen in the past year. So we all know how the Super Bowl went between the Falcons and the Patriots. Patriots were down 28-3, and they stormed back and ended up winning the Super Bowl. And Patriots just had their ring ceremony earlier this week, and a little peculiar, but the Patriots Super Bowl ring had 283 diamonds on it, apparently, which is an ode to the 28-3 deficit they came back against. So I'm going to get a score of petty on this. Jerry, what's your score of petty for the Patriots right now?
15 out of 10. Ooh. I mean, 283 is such an odd number as well. So you know that they legitimately did this on purpose. If they would have said, oh, we're going to have 100 diamonds or, oh, we're going to have 50 diamonds, those are even numbers. Those are numbers that the general public can come up with. They went to Jostens and said, we want 283 diamonds on this ring. Make it work. And they made it work. So, I mean, this is just off the scale. It's the funniest. I got a kick out of it. I absolutely died laughing when I saw it on Twitter. It was funny. To me, it's petty. It's what happens. That's the thrill of sports. If you win, everybody loves you. If you lose, joke's on you, dude.
What about you, James? What do you score?
9 out of 10. -1, just because I don't like the Patriots. I feel like,
and that's petty right there.
Yeah, that's petty.
I know. That's what I do.
Wow. Okay. Well, I gotta agree with Jerry. 15 out of 10. I mean, you don't get a mark like that very often, and it was beautiful. I mean, to tell your junior, whatever that word is, they're gonna put diamonds on the ring. Anyway, to tell him y'all want 283 diamonds is as petty as it gets, and I gotta tip my hat to him. I mean, that made me proud. A tear went down my eye when I saw that. All right, real quick, we're gonna go over McGregor versus Mayweather and OBJ versus Norman, the level petty in those competitions. What do you think about it, James?
It's gonna be a 15 out of 10 easily, especially with these two.
Yeah,
simple as that. And it's only gonna get worse.
Jared?
Wherever they're having the press conferences, they just better have good security because somebody's going to say something that's going to offend the other guy. And I don't know if they do more than one press conference just for the safety of them and the crews, because it's gonna be interesting, to say the least.
I think so too. I mean, OBJ and Norman had a pretty good last year about Patty. They don't really say each other's name in the media, which is an already extreme petty thing to do, which I love. But the McGregor Mayweather thing, it's been going on for a little bit. And with the fight officially coming in today, I love Conor's first post was a picture of him and then Floyd Mayweather Sr. saying the fight's on. So, I mean, that's already just top-notch petty right there, just saying Floyd's too old to fight him. But I don't know. I love it. So out of all the sports, which sport do you think is pettiness the most prevalent in, guys? Start with Jerry.
Really close for me, but I'm gonna say the NFL, just especially recently. Yeah, it's close. I think the NBA is really close there, but I'm gonna just say the NFL just because I think in general the media eats it up just a tad more, and the media tries to blow things out of proportion. Like we got an update every day that OBJ wasn't at voluntary mini camps, OTAs, whatever you want to call them. He wasn't there. It was voluntary when he was working out with Chris Carter, and he was working out by himself. So I think the media loves to make things out of smaller things in the NFL, so it gets blown up a little faster.
What about you, James?
I agree with Jerry. I'm gonna go with NBA because we see it even with the media and with the players. But it's one situation that it's just Phil Jackson and Carmelo. That whole situation was just so petty with the both of them. I'm just like,
yeah,
this is an NBA to Zach, with your so-called star player, pettiness the whole entire season. And I just feel like that's really crazy. He really got that job and is robbing the New York Knicks right now and being petty on top of that. So I'm going to go NBA.
I got to go NBA just because I think it's so personal. I mean, you got the only interviews you really care about NBA interviews because NFL interviews, a lot of the guys are taught to be kind of guarded and secretive, so they give these kind of bullshit answers you don't really care about. NBA guys really let they don't let it fly. I mean, LeBron lets it fly. Westbrook ain't never not let it fly, so he'll say whatever he feels. And I think that 5-on-5 atmosphere, when there's really only 2-on-2 guys, like your two superstars, they were talking shit about each other, which is about what pettiness is about. But I think the close second to me is MMA or boxing, because at the end of the day, it's 1 versus 1. But when you get in that ring, I mean, everything you've been talking about really amplifies. And I mean, it's no escaping what you said. So I think the most pettiest league is NBA, but I think where it really matters the most is in fighting, because all that stuff you said before, you really got to back it up in front of everybody right now. So it's really at a higher degree. But I do think pettiness in the NBA is more prevalent and is better. All right, moving on from pettiness, I think James got the Big 3 league going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Big 3 league is coming up. I think it's starting in Brooklyn, the Barclays Center. So the big question is, how good will this league be? Will it be good or will it be a bust? And I'm kind of in between right now because we'll have some players that still can play, but you're gonna have some guys that's out there wash that shouldn't be out there. So I want to get y'all's take just quickly on what you think this league will do, because just on a quick note, they do have a deal with Fox Sports, so that's a good thing, and they're doing good things with the community by getting little kids to actually come out and see these old vets play and shit. But I want to get y'all's take on it right quick.
I think it has the potential to be good, but it also has the potential to be kind of funny. I'm just looking at some of these rosters, and I just don't see it from some of these people. Like, I'm looking at this roster where you got Kenyon Martin. He's the captain of a team. You got Kenyon Martin, Al Harrington, Rashad McCants, James White, and Deion Glover. Like, what? I think that has the potential to be like, huh? I mean, you have people like Allen Iverson, who I personally think probably still can compete. Just certain things you're not going to lose. People like Jermaine O'Neal probably past their prime. Probably not. I mean, probably somebody that's really like, oh, I think this looks nice. I mean, we're going to try it out and see. I mean, Corey Maggetti's the captain of a team. Like, so
I can still hoop.
He checking AI. So I'm like you, James. I think it's in the middle there. We could see some greatness, but we could see some.
I think I don't know. I think it'll probably last about a season or two, but after that, I think people are going to lose interest. I mean, it's cool to see your old favorites play a little basketball. At the end of the day, it's nothing you really care about because you're not tied down to. I mean, you'll be the biggest AI fan or the biggest Corey McGetty fan, but come on now. I mean, you don't stop caring after a while. So, I mean, I think it's a good little side thing to do, but I just don't think there'll be a market to really keep it alive and fresh enough moving forward. So, I mean, I give it two seasons, and then I think it's kind of out of here.
Nice.
All right, well, moving on from that, there's going to be a 3-on-3, apparently in the Olympics, 3-on-3 basketball. How y'all feel about that? Y'all think that's necessary, or should it just only be one form of basketball going forward? Sure.
I think it has the potential to add something, especially for the Olympics is always battling for markets and trying to draw in new viewers. So I think it has the potential to do that for the Olympics. I don't know how many people who already watch and like basketball are going to say, oh, this is going to be brand new, we're going to tune in. But it has potential. We'll see.
What about you, James?
No, I do not want to watch a pickup game at the Olympics. Like, why? We already have basketball. Yeah, I don't want to. Hey, you got 3? Yeah, I got my 3. That's 2. No, I don't want to see that. Like, it's the Olympics. Like, let's stop it, man. Like, we got a 5-on-5. We don't. Next is gonna be 1-on-1. The 2032 Olympics, 1-on-1 in the top. I don't want to see it.
1-on-1. Corey McGetty versus AI.
King of the court. Like, come on.
I'm with James on this. I mean, first of all, I'm a wrestler from high school, but for you to say you're going to pull wrestling in 2020 and then for you to double up, say, hey, we're going to put 3-on-3 basketball in, like, I'm sorry, are we in the YMCA right now? This is the Olympics, dog. That is so disrespectful to pull out probably the oldest sport of all time next to just running in a straight line. You're going to say you're going to pull that out so you can watch some basketball players play 3-on-3 and they still have a 5-on-5 game to go? That don't make no sense to me. So it's cool and all on a TV show like Big 3, but in the Olympics? Come on, dog. That's disrespect.
Yeah, I can get the point of I had forgot about that, Ben. Yeah, that them taking slots from wrestling in order to have this is kind of a short end of the stick there.
All right, moving on to our last topic before our parting shots. We got Jerry going over the Stanley Cup Finals and our little MLB updates.
All right, I promise y'all I will be really quick with this, but first off, congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins going back-to-back and winning the Stanley Cup Finals in 6. There was a little bit of controversy there in Game 6. I personally think the refs did blow it, and that should have been a goal for the Nashville Predators, but we can't cry over spilled milk, I guess, or can we? But congratulations to the Penguins. I thought the Predators really came out of nowhere, and they really put up that great fight, so props to them. And we'll see if Pittsburgh can do a three-peat. I know we have some Capitals fans who listen and probably are cringing at the thought of that. But yes, Caps fans, you will have to go through Sid the Kid again next year to try to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. And a brief MLB update. Just want to say what a job Aaron Judge is doing. He hit a 495-foot home run the other day, which is absolutely absurd. I mean, the kid is 6'7" and 280 and can run pretty well and probably should be playing defensive end for somebody, but he likes hitting the baseball and hitting them pretty far, and he's pretty successful in that. And I'm just interested to see if the Yankees can keep this run up. The Colorado Rockies have cooled down a little bit over there in the NL, but we're geared up for the summer, the dog days of summer, and go out and catch a baseball game this year.
All right, well, we're going to go to our parting shots right now. Before we go to the heavy stuff with Kent State freshmen, I got to give a salute out to the Richmond Rough Riders. I mean, we won the Arena Pro Football Championship today. I mean, past weekend, Saturday, the Richmond Coliseum. Richmond team, you know, inaugural season. They went 8-0, won the championship game against the Florida Tarpons. So had to give a little shout out to 804. But congrats to them. But moving on to a more serious topic. Past couple of days, I think about 2 days ago, Kent State freshman Tyler Hance, who's offensive tackle, he died during conditioning drill for the football team. And we just really want to talk about that for a little bit. We're all former football players. James played at ODU, and then he came to CNU Division III. And Jerry and I are both on CNU's team for Division III the whole time. So we're very used to conditioning for football. So we're trying to talk on this really quick. So open the floor to James really quickly, just to talk about this whole situation.
Yeah, man, it's pretty sad. I hate to see stories like this, man, but we're going to keep him in our prayers, his family. And, I mean, hopefully we don't see any more stories like this for the rest of the summer or anytime soon. But we just hope that issue gets fixed and just keep his family in our prayers.
What about you, Jerry?
Yeah, first things first, just prayers out to his family. And I just want to reiterate what James said. Hopefully we don't see any more of these cases. We unfortunately see one or two, or it seems like each year. I kind of wish there was some type of initiative that we could take. I know everybody's worried about concussions, and that just seems to be a big buzzword, but we see a lot of guys just, you know, having these conditions, and whether it's a heart condition or a lung condition, and passing out during those conditioning drills. So we just wish there was some way we can combat it. But prayers to his family and his teammates who obviously lost a big part of them. I know we went through that at CNU, where we lost a coach in the middle of the year, and that's not anything that I would ever wish on anyone, honestly.
And to Tyler Hance's family, he was studying marketing and entrepreneurship at Kent State. I mean, he had a bright future ahead of him. We've all done conditioning, but it's some programs and some atmospheres and environments that may be a little bit too extreme for conditioning, and that's something the sport of football has to fix going forward. It's in addition to the concussion problem, it's something that we're trying to fix, and it's an unfortunate event. It happens every few years, and it's always a very sad event. So to the Hens family, prayers out to y'all, and to Kent State's program, prayers out to y'all. We hope we don't see this again for another number of years, or just ever again in general, but football is a very violent sport, and you don't like to say it, but it's kind of life or death, depending on the circumstances, whether it's head injury or it's too hot outside when you're training. So you never really know when it's going to happen. You just hope in the back of your mind that it never happens to you or anyone that you really know. So prayers out to the Hens family and to the whole Kent State program. And it's a sorry event, but we gotta learn from this, and everyone learn from this. So thank y'all. But anybody else got any parting words to go?
Yeah. It's for Kobe fans. Kobe fans are the new bandwagon Golden State fans. They just want to see LeBron suffer.
How did I notice this coming?
Kobe is not in the greatest of all time discussion anymore. I agree with Steve Kerr. It's between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. If you're mad at me,
go ahead, Ben.
Excuse you, Jerry. So after what James said, you can hate on LeBron all you want. All he does is produce. I mean, you can say he doesn't produce rings, whatever. Plays great on the court as a player. That's all you can ask for. You can say his team didn't do good. What do you want? He averaged 10 assists. I mean, that's helping your team out. They didn't play well. He played well. It is what it is. Had a great team in Golden State that's taking nothing from them. But LeBron and Jordan will be the best ever. I don't care what you say. And hats off to them. And what do you got, Jerry?
Maybe I'm too much of a Lakers fan and not enough of a Kobe fan. But I will say this. Any Kobe fan that tried to tell you that Kobe being Bryant was better than Michael Jordan, they're just talking biased wise.
What if they said Kobe was better than LeBron?
Kobe better than LeBron. That's another discussion that we can have. I'm not going to drag us out on the closing, on the parting shots. I'm not going to drag us out. I'm going to keep it short. But the two greatest players in the history of basketball will, when all is said and done, will be Michael Jordan and LeBron James, and we can argue about that for however we want to. But as a Lakers fan, I will say, and I'm probably going to get some trash for this, but Kobe Bryant is not in that echelon yet. And I mean, I don't think. He's not going to be in that echelon. I don't think. And I don't see that as just being bad. It's okay. Kobe's a great player, but many can argue that Kobe Bryant isn't even the greatest player in Lakers history. So, and that's a debate that we could have, and I legitimately would bring that up as a resident Lakers fan. No Lonzo Ball or no LeVar Ball or whoever.
Lonzo will lead y'all in the future. But thanks for tuning in to episode 10 of the Young Old Heads podcast. We love y'all. Share our stuff, and hope y'all continue to watch. And we want this thing to grow. So once again, my name is Ben Thompson. Thank y'all.
Jay Fair. Appreciate y'all.
And it's your boy Uncle Jerry. Share. Like, post. Comment.
We'll catch y'all next time. But yeah, like Jerry said, like, share our stuff on Twitter, Facebook, and hopefully in the future going to utilize more aspects, more avenues, maybe Periscope, maybe Twitter Live. So, we're going to continue to grow and hope y'all grow with us. But once again, thank y'all. Thank y'all for always tuning in.